Good morning, everyone. My name is Monica. I've been in this church since last March with my husband Emmanuel, who's sitting at the back. And one thing that has been encouraging me lately is that in the world where things are changing very rapidly, we have the assurance that God doesn't change, and He's yesterday, today, and forever the same. So with that in mind, I invite you to read together from Luke 10:38-42 on the page 1042, which probably is behind me. Yes. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, do you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her."
Thanks for reading that. Good to see you all here this morning. Keep that passage open, you'll find it helpful. I just love this incident in Jesus' life because it is such a gentle, domestic scene, and yet underlying it, there is some truth that transforms absolutely everything. And I wonder if you can relate to it as the situation unfolds. I've kind of called it dinner distress. That's what we're seeing, dinner distress. Jesus and his disciples, they turn up at Martha's home. She lives there with her sister Mary, and I don't know if there's forewarning involved in this, but verse 38, she welcomes them in. She wants to host them well. She wants to put on what we would call back in Wales a fabulous spread. A fabulous spread. But let's be clear, it's not just a crowd of men. It's Jesus and a crowd of men. Now, I don't know who the most important person you've had to host in your home has been. I imagine there might be some good stories in the room. This is the closest I've got to. I grew up in Cardiff. I went to Whitchurch High School, and I remember being in sixth form, and on the field, school field, there were a bunch of us playing football, and there were kids from across the school who were there. And I hate to say it, but I remember putting a crunching tackle on an 11-year-old whose name afterwards I found out was Gareth Bale, who ended up becoming one of the greatest footballers who's ever lived. I'm not just saying that because I'm Welsh. Here's the thing, I not only flattened him, I also stole his lunch money. Now, actually, I've got to confess. I was in Whitchurch High School with him. I was in year 12 and he was in year 7. I never played football with him, and I never stole lunch money from anyone, not just Gareth Bale. Okay, I just want to reassure you of that. But as a proud Welshman, imagine if I got to host Gareth Bale for dinner. I'd be chuffed. I'd try and put on a fabulous spread. I really would. I want to make it a really special night. Now, here is Martha, and she has Jesus in her house. And up to this point, if you've read kind of Luke's account of Jesus' life, he's causing a massive stir. Thousands of people are just wanting to hear him teach. He's doing things that only God can do. And wherever you are faith-wise, as we look back 2,000 years ago, we know he's the most significant person in all of human history. And Martha, verse 40, she welcomes him in. And this is a world where there's no Tesco's and no Deliveroo and there's no fridge. And she is feeding 13 hungry blokes. And she is grafting. And what is her sister doing? Verse 39. Floating around having a lovely time, sat at Jesus' feet, listening to him. And as you hear this story, I wonder, who do you most relate to? You know, the person who's drifting through life, loving people, not really doing many jobs, having a great time. Or are you the grafter who's, we need to do the washing up now, and I'm the first at the washing up place, and we need to tidy this away and get the Hoover out and fix this up. Are you naturally the drifter, or are you the grafter? Well, Martha, who's the grafter, is getting cheesed off with Mary, who's the drifter. I imagine she's been giving Mary the look. Now, I know the look, because my wife regularly gives me the look when we have people around, and it's the look that says, stop talking and come and help. Do you know the look? Maybe you've given the look, maybe you've received the look. Martha is giving Mary the look, and she's not picking up the signs or the signals, and so she finally has enough. Verse 40, she tells Jesus, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. And some of us sat in the room going, come on, Martha. That's right. Someone needs to tell that Mary, pull your finger out and actually do something. Now, Jesus responds to her. And as he responds to her, he actually puts his finger on what's going on for Martha. So have a look at verse 41. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about the food preparation. It's the food preparation that's on your mind. No, look at it. What does he say? You are worried and upset about us thinking you're not a great host. No, what does he say? Have a look. You are worried and upset about many things. Okay, yes, your sister is frustrating you in this moment. And you want this meal to be great, and that's okay, but it's not just this, is it? There are many things in life that are leaving you worried and anxious and upset. The dinner distress is the tip of the iceberg moment. There it is. But actually, underneath that tip of the iceberg, there's a whole bunch of other things. There's many things going on, and it's exploded in this. But there's long-held festering resentment, and whether Martha realizes it or not, this isn't just about her sister. See, the first 4 words of her question in verse 40 expose a wound. She doesn't even realize it's there. Look at them. The first 4 words of what she says. What does she say? Lord, don't you care? Jesus is saying this isn't just about the meal, is it? This is a heartfelt cry of someone who feels like they are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. And she's going, Lord, don't you care? Don't you care, God, about the mess in my life? Don't you care, God, about the way people have wronged me? Don't you care about the guilt of the things I've done that plagues my conscience? Don't you care about the suffering in my life? Don't you care about the weight I'm having to carry? Now, I don't know if you're just simply curious about the Christian faith, or you're a believer of 70 years or 7 days, but I'm sure there's been moments where you found yourself saying, Lord, don't you care? See, there's the dinner distress. And how does the Lord Jesus respond? Well, he tells her 2 things that really make a difference. And the first thing he tells her is this: who she is. Who she is. Look at what he says to her in verse 41. Martha, Martha. He says her name twice. What's he saying in that moment? Martha, I see all that you are doing. Martha, I know who you are. I know what you are going through. I know that you care. I know this is the tip of the iceberg of a world of worries that you can't actually control through all your grafting. See, Jesus is in this moment. He's not belittling Martha. He's not brushing her aside. He's telling her he sees her. Now, we all kind of know the difference of being seen. Maybe you've been in the workplace and you're having to carry far more responsibilities than you're normally having to carry, and it's been really, really hard, and there's been many difficulties. And often it is when your boss actually clocks it and mentions it. Doesn't make it go away, but it does help. Here, Martha doesn't have her boss or just a friend. She has the creator of the universe. And he tells her, Martha, I see you. Now, I just want to say, whatever is going on for people in this room, and I don't know all your stories. I don't know what's brought you here today or what's even happened this week, but you need to know Jesus, the living God, he knows you by name. He knows what's going on. He knows everything about you, the good, the bad, the ugly. He knows. He's not belittling you in what you are carrying. He sees you in a way no one else will. So that's the first thing Jesus tells Martha. He tells her who she is. She's someone that is seen. But the second thing he tells her, and this is the bit, oh man, this is going to have really grinded her gears. Drifter sister Mary, she's got it right. She's got it right in this scenario. Have a look at verse 41. You are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Now, look, remind ourselves, what is Mary doing in this moment? She sat at Jesus' feet, verse 39, listening to him. Now, how does that help? How does that actually answer anything? Well, just have a look at the start of this story in verse 38. What are we told about Jesus? As Jesus and his disciples were on their way. Okay, we're in the road trip section of Luke's gospel, where they are on a mission, they are on a journey, and we're told in chapter 9, verse 51, where they are going. We're told this: Jesus resolutely set out for Jerusalem. Now, what's going to happen at Jerusalem? It's the culmination of thousands of years of God's plans and promises, weaving human history together to the center point that actually changes everything. Jesus is actually going to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. See, as Jesus dies, he is carrying the weight of all the sin and all the wickedness of the world on his shoulders. Every failure, everything that keeps us awake at night, every time we've broken God's law and broken his heart, all the weight and shame on his shoulders. The perfect Son of God being punished with the hell all our sins deserve. And 3 days later, he bursts out the grave to show he's paid for it all. See, there is the promise that one day the universe that is broken will be fixed. There is the promise for all who will trust in him that we can be restored to our Maker now with nothing to fear in our death but eternal paradise with him. Martha is carrying the weight of a whole bunch of other burdens. And Jesus says, that's my job. That's what I've come to do. And there's one thing you need to do. Listen to me so you can hear about what I've come to do for you. You see, I care for you, Martha, in the reality that I'm fixing this biggest thing you need to be fixed. Not just for you, but for all the world. Now, if you ever get the privilege of visiting New York, in Midtown Manhattan, outside the Rockefeller Center, you see this. Now, this is a statue of Atlas, who apparently from Greek mythology is a titan. And his punishment is this, because he rebelled against the Greek gods. His punishment was to eternally hold up the sky. Now, it's kind of, people look at that and think it's the world, and that's fine. But if you can see the image, and you can't see it in all its detail and intricacy, he is sweating. He is using all his strength to hold this thing up. And here it is in the financial capital of one of the richest countries in the world. And it is a picture of human strength. We're holding it up. We're doing it all. It's all down to us. Now, amazingly, opposite, literally opposite that street, opposite that statue is a cathedral. And in the cathedral, if you go to the back of it, and it's right at the back of the cathedral, you have to go through sort of different bits to get to it, there is another statue. And this statue is of a young boy. Happy as anything. And do you know what's in his hand? It's the whole world. It's the whole world. Statue, picture of Jesus with it all in his hands. See, the baptism we're going to see today, the baptisms we've had today, that Harry's not getting baptized because he's saying, I'm great. God's pretty lucky to have me around. No. He's saying in that, actually, I can't do it. I'm not good enough for God, and I know it. I can't hold the world together. Don't know if he's a grafter or a drifter. But he's saying he has, and he can. And I trust Jesus to forgive me and to be with me now. To take me beyond death, not the hell I deserve, but the new heavens and new earth where he will have fixed all that's broken. You know, maybe you're a seeker here today. Maybe you're curious and you want to know more. Well, look, you can take a gospel. We've got these accounts of Jesus' life. You could read them for yourself and just read it. It'll take you a couple of hours. You can see more about Jesus from there. There's free ones just out on the door. Or you could come back, and we're just looking through Luke's gospel over this summer. But maybe you want to say to Jesus, look, I want you to fix right now the greatest problem I have, death, judgment, and hell. I want to trust you. And look, that's an invitation you will never look back from. And in a moment, there'll be some quietness, and it may be in your heart you want to say to Jesus, forgive me, be my Lord, and help me to follow you. But I guess for loads of us in the room, we have done that. And we know, like with Martha, look, but the meal still needs to be cooked, right? Jesus at this point is not supernaturally cooking the meal. But we still need to listen. And we still need to keep listening to his word. Because actually what we told at the end of verse 42, what Mary has done will not be taken away from her. In other words, the meal of listening to Jesus is a meal that lasts longer than till the next meal. It will stick with her for a very, very long time. And I don't know about you, but the stuff I get absolutely stressed about often is because I've lost perspective and I think I'm Atlas. And I need to look to Jesus, who does hold it all in his hands. And he does care. See, we all need to know this. He sees us. He really has fixed the main thing, and we need to keep listening to him in his word, with his people. Today, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, up to the point where we won't just need to listen to him in his word, but we'll listen to him because he will say to us the words, welcome home. Let's bow our heads. I'll just give you a few moments to reflect And maybe you want to talk to the Lord in the quietness of your heart. And then when the band strikes up, we'll stand and we'll sing, Turn Your Eyes Towards Jesus.